Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger is a former U.S. Air Force pilot whose military service included a tour in Afghanistan. The congressman's been kind enough to join us this morning. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
So we don't need to tell you we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of the attacks of 9/11, which, of course, drew us into Afghanistan. How concerned, Congressman, should we be that a complete withdrawal might embolden terror groups like al-Qaeda?
Look, I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope everything I'm about to say is incorrect. You'll never hear a politician say that except in a case like this. But I fear that this is a major mistake. Look, I wish we had like a clean end to the Afghan war. I know it's been 20 years. I think we need to table set a little bit, though. This is more of a peacekeeping operation. There's 2,500 troops. It's not, 150,000. We are emboldening the Afghan military, who wants us to be there, and 85% of Afghanistan wants the United States and NATO involved. If we leave, though, that government will collapse. We will have a Afghanistan pre-9/11, and I think it's only going to just compel us to go back. That's my worry.
And I want to get from you on a personal note, because you went to war in Afghanistan, and there have been a lot of interviews done with people who served time, people who almost lost their lives and survived, but maybe, they didn't come back the people they were when they went there. So what does that do to somebody who actually went to fight and then feel as if all of a sudden we're giving up and it was for nothing?
Yeah, I think for everybody it's different. I certainly, it breaks my heart. I did a little time in Afghanistan. Most of my stuff was in Iraq. And I can tell you in 2011, when, Obama ended the mission in Iraq, I was heartbroken. And we saw what happened to Iraq afterwards. We saw a new generation have to go back. Mm-hmm. So I do think that's going to be a feeling with a lot of people. A wish that we could have, created an Afghanistan that was ready to defend itself. Look, and I give the American people a lot of credit. For 20 years, they have stood by, as different successive administrations have had a military presence in Afghanistan. That's why I'm just so surprised that both the prior administration and the Biden administration have been in such a hurry to get out, because the American people aren't marching on the streets. They understand the mission, yet for whatever reason it's ended, and we're going to end up having to go back, I fear.
Well, and also to be fair, Osama bin Laden, let's be honest, is old news, but there are some serious human rights concerns, Congressman. I read a graduate, a woman in Afghanistan, is very fearful because she says that if the Taliban is again allowed to take control of that country, she's going to lose all the gains that she and other women have made in Afghanistan. Your thoughts?
That's 100% true. I've been to Afghanistan also as a member of Congress, and I went out in an area called Mazar-e Sharif and met with these young women that had made a go of business. And that's all going to be destroyed. It will. I mean, the Taliban aren't going to come in and, rethink women's rights. They're going to come in and reenact this medieval rule they had prior. And all it was costing the United States and NATO, and I want an end to the war too, but what it was costing us was 2,500 troops. We have 3,500 in Kosovo right now, by the way. And for whatever reason, we're leaving, and I deeply fear we're going back.
Okay, I want to switch gears with you right now, because that big news out this week that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was put on pause. A lot of people were planning on getting that vaccine. Some people were specifically waiting to get this vaccine, and then this happens. How confident are you that the system is working as it's supposed to right now?
Yeah, my wife was one of those. She wanted to get the Johnson & Johnson soon, and I'll tell you, I guess it shows the system's working, so I'm glad about that. If there is more to this, then I think the pause is smart. I do look at the numbers, though. We know your chance of having any effect is 1 in a million. Your chance of being hit by a car walking home today is, 1 in a few thousand. So I think maybe a pause to take a look is important, but we have to be realistic. How many people of those million would die if they got COVID? Significantly higher. But it does show that the system is working. I think anybody that says, boy, this proves that vaccines are unsafe, is quite the opposite. This is, in fact, proving that this is going through the right process. Get vaccinated, trust me.
Well, I'd advise our viewers, you gave a great podcast the other day. I listened to part of it with you and some physicians talking about the importance of getting vaccinated. Congressman, always appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You bet. See you guys.